Hi everyone. I wanted to spend a little time today doing a seated exploration of the breath and bandhas that we engage in our practice. If you haven't had a chance to watch my breath and bandhas essence of practice video, I would recommend you start with that. If you're newer to the breath and bandhas, in that video we do a reclining exploration. And so now I just wanted to turn that upright. And when we're seated, the first thing we want to make sure of is that we are in a comfortable seat. So our hips are grounded. Generally, we want the knees to be either in line with or lower than the hips. So if your knees are really high up, then I would recommend elevating the hips with a pillow or a cushion, bolster, really anything that you can comfortably sit on. Once you have that comfortable seat, then we want to engage the spine in such a way that we're sitting up tall but not overly tense. So we don't need our shoulders to be back like this and our chest to be puffed out. We want to maintain a neutral spine but have that feeling of elongation from the hips all the way up through the crown of the head. And so if you have that comfortable seat now, and if you feel comfortable allowing the eyes to close, go ahead and do that. And for a moment, let's allow the breath to be totally effortless, natural. Then we'll begin to consciously deepen the breath. So we begin to take fuller, more complete inhales and exhales. In my experience, the breath and bandhas really work in conjunction as one unit. So sometimes people find it easiest to access that bandha engagement at the bottom of the exhale. Take a deep inhale and a full, complete exhale. And at the bottom of the exhale, you'll feel the belly gently drawing in naturally. You want to just encourage that drawing in and then keep it drawn in as you inhale. Along with that engagement of the lower belly, we also engage the pelvic floor by lifting those muscles gently in and up. You might find it helpful to keep the hands on the lower belly in sort of a diamond shape. And the hands can gently encourage this engagement, but we want to avoid getting overly tense. So the bandhas are subtle. They're not a clenching. And the hands can give us that tactile feedback to know if we are clenching or if we're totally loose and soft. We want to be somewhere in the middle. And of course, as we breathe, we want to keep the shoulders relaxed. And the last essential piece of the breath is that sound at the back of the throat. It comes from a slight constriction at the back of the throat. And as we make that slight constriction, we want to avoid tension creeping into the neck and the jaw and the shoulders. My experience of the breath and bandhas is actually that if we invite a little bit of tension into two areas, a little bit of tension into the back of the throat and some tension into the bandhas, then we have actually cultivated a lot of freedom within the breath itself. So we are allowing our lungs to fill fully as we inhale and empty fully as we exhale. And actually we can use our hands to give us a tactile feedback there as well. So if you'd like to, you can bring the hands just onto your lower rib cage and keep the bandhas engaged, keep that constriction in the back of the throat, and see if you can make the hands expand and contract a little bit as your lungs expand and contract. And keep the shoulders relaxed as you do this exercise. And allow the hands to come back down onto your thighs and open the eyes. The last thing I want to offer you is just a visualization of the shape of the breath that's really helped me over the years. So I like to think of it as sort of a pointed end where our bandhas are, coming up like this, almost like an upside down triangle, but it's actually circular. So you know those the blocks that kids have that are like a circle and then they come down to a point, like a circular pyramid. I think of the breath like that. It's like a circular pyramid, but upside down, right? So that it's the bandhas start here at the point, and then the breath will extend upward, fill the lungs, and it's circular because we're filling the back and the front as well, not just the sides. So it's circular like this. And the last piece is that I also think that it's sort of like a dome on top. So then when I think about that shape, it makes me think of an ice cream cone. You know, an ice cream cone that goes like this. It's circular, and then it has the mounds of ice cream on top. And that's just a delicious visualization anyway. So if you want to, allow the eyes to close one more time and just visualize that ice cream cone. Exhale fully, find the point, find the bandhas, and then from that place of engagement, keeping a constriction in the back of the throat, breathe deeply in, fill the ice cream cone all the way up, including the top that's rounded, and then slowly exhale. And then gently allow the eyes to open if they were closed. I hope that has been helpful to you and that it will set a strong foundation for your asana practice. Remember that what we just practiced, the breath and bandhas working as a unit, is at the heart of our entire practice.